I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching a Comic Hero show. Now kick that intro! Edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. It's Mardi Gras season, y'all, and this is the first of 3 Mardi Gras episodes. And on this episode, it's all about the color green. Now, I'll touch base on what that means a little later on, but for right now, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. All right, last time I asked, the Image comic series Radiant Black is set in a town 30 miles away from which major U.S. city? Well, the correct answer is Chicago. And 6 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names will be entered in the drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is... Sherry Thornton from Minden, Louisiana. So congratulations, Sherry. You have a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, or rather an episode that I'm doing in a few days because I'm doing 2 episodes this week. But anyway, here's the question. It's an Alpha Flight question. And it's very easy, by the way. In which country does the mutant super team Alpha Flight defend and reside? Now here's some hints. The first hint is that this country is north of the border of the United States. The second hint, the states in this city are Manitoba, Ontario, British Columbia, and Quebec. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Alright, now Mandy Hooter from Bossier City, Louisiana has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one features the best there is at what he does, going up against the arch nemesis of the heroes in a half shell. Representing Marvel, we have Wolverine. And representing Mirage Studios and IDW, we have Shredder. These 2 are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call... The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Wolverine versus Shredder. Wolverine possesses superhuman strength, stamina, durability, speed, agility, reflexes and senses, indestructible bones via adamantium, retractable claws, superhuman healing factor, which heals injuries and illness at an extremely accelerated or enhanced rate and also results in slowed aging and a superhumanly extended lifespan, combat mastery, and is an expert martial artist. Shredder is a criminal mastermind, master of ninjutsu, martial arts, and hand-to-hand combat who utilizes bladed armor. Who will win? You'd think that this fight would start off with hand-to-hand combat and or martial arts, but Shredder decides to play dirty by clawing Wolverine's face. He then proceeds to slice at Wolverine's whole body. This marks the beginning of the end of this fight for Shredder. Wolverine slowly gets up and says while his body begins to heal, "So, you want to be dishonorable? I'll show you dishonorable, bub." Wolverine pops his claws out and charges at Shredder at full berserker mode. Shredder tries to take out one of Wolverine's patellas while in midair, but the adamantium coating his patellas as well as the latter's entire skeletal system causes the former to break his hand. Wolverine then ends the fight by ripping off Shredder's helmet, cutting off his limbs, lighting a cigar, and burying Shredder's forehead. Wolverine wins. And that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Thank you, Mandy Hooter, for that fight. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll have another fight on episode 471. Now, I have quite a few fights, or fight requests rather, that are going to last all the way through the month of June. But I'm still accepting fight requests. Now, y'all know my rules. The first rule is that there has to be at least one comic book or manga character involved. The second rule, the comic book or manga character can go up against another comic book or manga character, a video game character, or a serious-minded cartoon character like Optimus Prime, Voltron, Lion-O, any member of the Silverhawks, or any member of the Centurions, anyone like that. And also, the third rule, make sure that your fight request makes sense. I mean, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for, I don't know, Ambush Bug to go up against Daredevil. Just saying. Alright, now let's get to the comics I bought this week. Comic books I bought this week. Alright, here we go. Hey everyone. Now this month is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. Now cervical cancer is cancer that starts in the cells of the cervix, which is the lower narrow end of the uterus. A majority of cervical cancer is caused by a virus called human papillomavirus, or HPV. Now HPV spreads through sexual contact with a person who already possesses it. Not all types of HPV causes cervical cancer. Some of them cause genital warts, but other types may not cause any infections. Now symptoms of cervical cancer are bleeding from the vagina, painful sex, abnormal vaginal discharge, and pain in the lower belly. Now there are 4 stages of cervical cancer, and there's stage 1, which is cancer that is constrained to the cervix. Stage 2, which is cancer that is spread past the cervix, but hasn't reached the pelvic wall. Stage 3, which is when the cancer spreads to the pelvic wall and has caused problems in the kidneys. And stage 4, which spreads to the bladder, rectum, and different parts of the body. Now, diagnosis involves screening tests. Now, these screening tests are pap smear, X-ray, CT scan, HPV DNA testing, cone biopsy, punch biopsy, endocervical curettage, and magnetic resonance imaging, or an MRI. Now, there are less than 200,000 cases per year in the U.S., which make it rare. However, I know someone. I know a very close friend who was diagnosed with it a few years ago, and thankfully they beat it. But it came at a very heartbreaking cost. They ended up having to have a hysterectomy. She ended up having to have a hysterectomy. Now, there are 3 treatment plans that you can do for cervical cancer. The first is surgery, then there's radiation treatment and chemotherapy. And I know that I'm a guy talking about a cause among women, but I feel that I should. And I'm not just talking to women, I'm also talking to men, because you just never know. It could be your sister, it could be your mom, it could be your aunt, it could be your cousin, it could be your significant other. You just never know. Alright, this is a Cervical Cancer Awareness Comic Hero tee, and if you would like one of your own, you can find them on iamthecomichero.com/shop. Now, I wasn't able to do an episode this past week. Actually, I haven't been able to do a show for the last 2 weeks. And so that's why I'm doing a mystery pop-up segment. And I have quite a few books that I want to share with y'all. So here we go. First up is The Amazing Spider-Man number 42. Batman Superman World's Finest number 23. Black Panther number 8. Catwoman number 61. Daredevil number 5. Fantastic Four number 16. Now this is a trade paperback. Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance. Now for those of y'all who are unfamiliar with the way that I do trade paperbacks, I don't count them as one trade paperback. I count the issues that it collects. Now this collects Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance Alpha and Omega, and Ghost Rider number 17, and then Wolverine number 36. But I already have Wolverine number 36, so I'm going to count Ghost Rider Weapons of Vengeance Alpha and Omega and Ghost Rider number 17. So that's 3. Green Lantern War Journal number 5. Guardians of the Galaxy number 10. The Invincible Iron Man number 14. Jay Garrick, The Flash number 4. Star Trek number 16. Superman number 10. Superman Lost number 10. Titans number 7. Titans Beast World Tour, Central City. Titans Beast World Tour, Atlantis. Titans Beast World Tour, Gotham City. Wonder Woman number 5. And finally, X-Men number 30. All right, that's 22, which brings the total number of comics I bought since December of 1997 to 12,644. All right, that's 22, which brings the total number of comics I bought since December of 1997 to 12,644. First up is Amazon's Attack number 4. Batman the Brave and the Bold number 9. Detective Comics number 1081. The Flash number 5. Green Arrow number 8. The Immortal Thor number 6. Power Girl number 5. Really excited about this one. Resurrection of Magneto #1. Rogue Sun #15. Superior Spider-Man #3. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #147. Titans Beast World #5. And finally, X-Force #48. Alright, that's 13, which brings the total number of comics that I've bought since December of 1997 to 12,657. Alright, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, and here's the question for a free tee for the next episode of the show. In which country does the mutant super team Alpha Flight defend and reside? Now, here are the hints again. The first hint is that this country is north of the United States border. The second hint, some of the territories in this country are Manitoba, Ontario, British Columbia, and Quebec. Oh, and by the way, to anyone who is a native of this country, I want to apologize for saying states instead of territories earlier. Charge that to my head, not to my heart. Alright, the third hint, this country is the second largest country in the world. And then the fourth and final hint, this country has 2 official languages, English and French. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Sherry Thornton from Minden, Louisiana, who won a free tee on this episode. Alright, now the first color of Mardi Gras that I'm covering is the color green. Now green represents faith, and faith is something that's very important to me. Faith has gotten me through so much throughout my life. Whether it's the passing of loved ones, whether it's falling short on things I want to do or goals I want to achieve. Faith has been the driving force of my life. And it continues to be the driving force of my life. And I think I'm speaking for a lot of folks. Because without faith, you can't really get far in life. I mean, with faith, all things are possible. And this is a green faith Mardi Gras comic hero tee. And if you would like one of your own, you can find them on iamthecomichero.com/shop. Alright, here's the road ahead for the show. On the next episode that I'm going to do in a few days, which is episode 470, I'm going to cover the second color of Mardi Gras, which is gold. And gold represents power. Then on episode 471, I'm going to conclude the Mardi Gras episodes with the color purple. And purple represents justice. Then on episode 472, I'm going to raise awareness of heart health. Then on episode 473, I'm celebrating Black History Month. Now, as y'all saw in the mystery pop-up segment, I raised awareness of cervical cancer. And even though the month of January is coming to a close, I'm going to extend the sale of the Cervical Cancer Awareness Comic Hero tee through the first 2 weeks of February. Because I just wouldn't feel right by raising awareness of a cause this late in the month. And then all of a sudden just discontinuing the sale of the shirt just because the month is out. Oh, and by the way, while I'm thinking about it, on the next episode that I do, I'm also going to celebrate World Cancer Day. So stay tuned for that. Alright, if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, welcome, and as soon as you're done, hit subscribe. And if you're watching this on the Comic Book Lovers Facebook page, welcome, and as soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. Oh, and I have an announcement. It's very important. I'm going to be a vendor at Sinlaw Collector Con on June 1st in Marksville. It's going to be at the Earl J. Barbary Senior Convention Center. It's right behind Paragon Casino and Resorts. Really had a lot of fun doing it last year. Can't wait to do it this year. All right, I'm Victor Noli on the Comic Hero. I'll see you next time for episode 470. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero!